Japan, I would expect to make a lot of adjustments. I would expect to have to learn a new culture. I'd expect.
For me, it's important to pivot into what my heart is passionate about, and that's really, I guess, pushing Camel Group now. That's what I'm doing. I'll get back to the content creation soon, don't worry. But yeah, that's my space right now. So I'm going to kind of round it up with the last couple of questions about collaborating. Collaborating is so important, and you know what? I'll say this, I feel like as Brit creators, and I'm specifically saying the ones based in the UK, we didn't do enough collaborating in the very early days of building your YouTube or whatever the case. I am seeing, however, let's say the TikTokers of this generation and stuff, they have been a bit more collaborative, which is very, very good to see. Collaboration is everything, partnership is everything, you can grow together and what have you. So the question I have is, collaborating with creatives, has it been beneficial? And is it something that you would encourage, and how could you encourage that?
Okay, this is a great question for us specifically in this moment, actually, because we've been friends for a couple of years. We're both business owners, we're both young women in Ghana, etc. And we often face a lot of the same challenges. And so this year we decided to collaborate on trying to create a solution for one of those kind of challenges, but also opportunities. So we are in the process of launching something called the Afro-Brit Collective, which is a collective of some of the most exciting Black-owned brands here in Ghana and also across the continent in the diaspora. And we're doing a pop-up store which launches on Monday. I was scared about collaborating with Stephanie because we are friends with women. There's a lot of expectation around what it's like to work with women. I also said to Stephanie, whatever happens, our friendship has to survive. Whatever happens with this joint venture, our friendship has to be the thing that comes first. And I think one of the ways that we've been able, and we had no fights, by the way. Not a single fight. Not a single fight. No fights. And I think, and I was reflecting on this morning actually, which I haven't told you yet, but I think one of the reasons why is because both of us always assume the best. So sometimes she irritates me. Sometimes I'll be like, Stephanie, don't do blah, blah, blah. She'll be like, oh, I just did blah, blah. And I'm like, I just told you don't. And she's like, oh, I didn't see the message. Right. But I know that it's because she didn't see it, because she's busy, because she's running her household, because she's running her business, because she's doing this, she's doing that. So I never, even when something happens that I'm like, oh, why did she do that? I always assume that her actions have come from good intention. And I think that has been one of the biggest foundations for why it is that we've been able to work together.
I will add to this, right, where there is a mutual respect, okay? I respect what she's doing, and she respects what I'm doing. She has not been able to get this far by vibes. She's smart, you see what I mean? So, and she respects my opinion as well. So we've come together and we understand that, yes, things may not be perfect all the time, but we trust in each other that we are putting in 100% and 100% to make the 200% to make this work. So again, I will say, this is your exclusive invitation to come to the Afro-Brit Collective on Monday at the ANC corner. And it is not a pity petition. It is a fantastic array of brands, fashion, lifestyle, rum, beauty, to come and experience and explore brands that you would have never heard about before. And it's for 1 week. So this is really your invitation.
Thank you so much, Amma and Stephanie. I wanted to introduce and say that the Afro-Lux Collective is coming. So again, a double invitation. Please do attend the Afro-Lux Collective. That will be from Monday, 30th, isn't it, to the 5th? Yeah, a whole week of luxury, African luxury brands given to you by two major bosses, Stephanie and Amma. So thank you so much, ladies. I think we're going to take the last question and then a bit of a Q&A. We love the Q&A, don't we, Ange? Okay, so as an African British creator, or entrepreneur, of course, how have you given back to your community, and what would you like to encourage to give back to our continent? This could be in terms of investment, as Stephen said, he's now getting into real estate. I mean, you've given back to Africa, like, that's been like you've been doing it for a minute, so, but you're also pivoting into something else as well, so that's very valuable. Charity, or just general support and collaboration with, you know, African artists, etc. So, yeah, I'd like everyone to actually answer that, if they could.
Yeah, I think in the area of giving back, I think sometimes we overthink it. You know, sometimes, I think one thing I've prided myself on over the last couple of years of having my career is just kind of allowing myself not to be too inaccessible, because sometimes, you know, it really just takes a conversation that can really help propel someone in what they're doing. Sometimes it's not always about, oh, yeah, we've donated 20,000 to this cause, or to be honest, in my opinion, I feel a lot of people actually do that for their own PR rather than the genuine, you know, zeal to make something happen. And, you know, I think we could especially being in Ghana for the last couple of years as well, one thing I've realized, what might be very small to us abroad goes a long way for somebody here. So I do think, you know, just support it when you can. You know, for example, as you said, we've been playing shows in Ghana for years, and I say this all the time, we don't actually make any money from playing shows in Ghana, but it's just more because it's home. You know, we have so many people that message us daily, like, oh, we love you guys are, and it's like, how many times do you play a show in America or Europe and your core fan base is here? You know, forget the dollar amount, just give the people that genuinely are giving you the views and the streams what they want, you know? And then I think also within our respective fields, creating initiatives that allow people to also have access to information and resources as well, because that's one thing I found. I'm sure everyone in this room has heard the constant battle of, you know, Ghana music and this and that. And sometimes when I sit in those conversations, I realize, wait, but your problem is just this. So you just need to do this and problem solved. But that's just because of, I feel like Ghanaians, we're very enclosed. We don't like to branch out enough to, I don't really want to say this, but our brother country, I won't say their names, but they are very daring, you know? And I work with them a lot, so I see that difference. They are very daring. They will go where they have to go. If they have to argue to get in this room because I need to speak to that, they will do it. Us is just, oh, it's okay, next time. There might not be a next time. There genuinely might not be a next time. So, you know, us as, you know, for someone like myself, I do have plans to kind of create initiatives that kind of bridge the gap between, okay, what do artists need here to get over there, you know, and stuff like that. So we could all do something. I don't think, what's the Ghanaian proverb? Kitwe being shat. Like, you could do any little, it really helps. So.
Yeah, that's a base. I think giving back is very important, and what I do in my business in terms of giving back is, if someone reaches out and they're Ghanaian or they're African, a lot of the time I would give them a cheaper rate than I would to someone else. So we actually have a client called Afro-Brit Vodka. They're owned by two Ghanaian girls. You might have seen them in the video. So Jane and Bev. So yeah, we've been working together for a few months, and their retainer isn't the same as other clients on the books, and I was really wanted to work with them because they're Ghanaian, doing similar things to you with your rum brand, but in the UK, because like there's not enough African drinks, and I just thought that was a great concept, and I really like the passion for the girls. So yeah, if someone is like Ghanaian or African and they reach out to me, you're gonna get more of my time, or I'm gonna be more willing to help, just because like I want to give back to my community, and that's another reason why I'm here in Ghana. It's my first time back in 6 years, so I just wanted to see what the infrastructure was like, see what sort of events are going on, because we put on events in London all the time, and eventually I would like to start doing some events here in Ghana and working with some Ghanaian creators as well. So yeah, giving back is very important. I think it's good for your soul, and I think it's something I would encourage all of you to try and do if you get an opportunity.
Is this microphone still working? See this? I see it's being discriminated against, so I'll use this one. So what you might call giving back for me has been very much the kind of purpose and reason as to why I agreed to take over the business that I took over. I mentioned right at the beginning that, you know, I was hired as a consultant to make money, and I said, I won't do what you've asked me to do. And the reason for that was, I don't know how much you guys know about industrial agriculture in Africa, in the world, but also specifically here in Ghana. But it's, okay, so before I came back to Ghana, I was doing a master's at the London School of Economics, and I was learning all of these different examples about innovation around the world. And some of that innovation was in Ghana. It was one of the reasons why I decided I had to come back and do something. And I remember being on this program and watching a video about Ghana and about Brew in Ghana, and learning that for every chocolate bar that is sold, if it's sold for £1, for example, 5p of that pound goes back to Ghanaian farmers. Someone saying, yeah. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. The maths is not mathing. and I just, that was one of the things that really stuck with me. So in building Rain, when I took over the business, before I developed the brand, before I developed the idea, one of the first things I did was I increased farmers' salaries by 50%. I had to do that at the same time as cutting losses by the same amount. But it was important to me that, you know, salaries, living conditions, we have accommodation for our staff. A lot of them didn't have toilets, but then the expat workers that were there previously who aren't there now had bungalows with AC. And I'm like, how is this the same company that on one side there's Africans living like this, and on the other side there are so-called expat workers living in these different conditions? And so I had to do a whole restructure of the entire business. And, you know, our product is a luxury product, and people often say, oh, why is it so expensive? And I'm like, it has to be expensive because I have to make sure that how I structure the money that we make has an impact on the people that are making it. And I feel like, for me, there is a way of doing business, any kind of business, in that way. And so I don't even think about giving back as a separate activity. It just is the work that I'm doing. And I think when you're doing business, particularly in a place like Ghana, where there is so much inequity and so much inequality and so much has always been extracted from here, I feel like that has to be one of the kind of central tenets of the work that you do.
So in giving back, which I believe is very important, I offer workshops to upcoming creators because I believe there's a need for creatives in this industry. So I offer workshops that teach people from beginning to end how to begin creating content, how to market yourself, how to negotiate. I do that, and I've extended to the part where I teach universities. So I've taught in Ashesi University, I taught for a couple of weeks, teaching them content creation and marketing, but also trying to amplify voices of underrepresented people. So even with the tech that I create, the content I create, there are creators out there who are physically challenged in a certain way. There's a creator out there who does content creation in that space. In my own little way, what I do is, every time I see his video, I like it, I share it to my audience. It pushes his videos further. I also try to support creatives every single way that I can. If it's events, I attend. If it's speaking opportunities, I come on. I try my very best to support them in every way that I can.
And for me, it's a little bit of all, right? Because we are selling affordable luxury products to Ghanaian women. So I don't make as much profit as we definitely could, because we are trying to make sure that they get that good quality product at a really good price. At the same time, I think being accessible is really important, because one of the things I've seen here with younger women is that sometimes there's a self-esteem issue. And when I've seen that you can kind of impact their self-esteem positively, they can really achieve a lot more than what they thought. The other thing is, as a brand, we have done breast cancer packages, we have free workshops as well, and I think that ties in quite nicely. We're going to be doing some workshops as well at the Afro-Brit Collective, but we really do try from every different angle impact the community that we are serving.
Thank you so much, everyone. So that actually comes to the end of the questions, but as I said, we've got 5 minutes to take some questions from the audience. So does anyone like to ask any of our panelists direct questions?
Hello, panel. Thank you very much for your great works and your great words. What I would like to know is, even though most of you seem to be charting a new path that may not have been trodden before, has there been anybody that has given you mentorship, and or have you mentored others who are trying to follow in your footsteps?
Anyone would like to answer that? Very good question, thank you.
Have I been mentored? I think a lot of these words like mentorship are words that we overthink in a way. So I personally have virtual mentors that I've never met in my life. They probably don't know my name, probably don't even know I exist, simply because, like you said, they've trodden on a path that, okay, this is how. So for me, for example, being of a Ghanaian background, imagine walking to your parents, one saying you want to be a musician, and then let's take that deeper. I want to be a drummer. Like, are you for real? Like, are you actually for real? And I'm like, no, trust me, it works. Believe me, it works. And, over the years, I think I always say to people, for example, why I actually decided to start creating content and showing what I do is because, let's be honest, if I said to everybody in this room, do you know a drummer? I can probably bet 90% of you are going to tell me, yeah, the guy that plays at my church or something. You know what I mean? But I saw how this can be the same level as like an athlete or something like that. So with that, I sought the counsel of like bigger people that have done it. Because all I had was, again, the uncle at church that he just plays on Sundays and goes to work on Monday to Saturday anyway, and probably goes to church to work after playing drums at church. So now where I'm in the position that I've reached, sometimes I actually see some of the younger kids, or even yesterday I was at a show here and I just ended up in a conversation with the drummer and I'm like, bro, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. And I can guarantee you the type of calls you get will change, the type of money you charge won't be, it's not gonna be a conversation. Like no one's gonna contest you because you're doing it like this, doing it like this. And then when your parents ask, you can be like, no, but I make more money than the job you're trying to tell me to go and do. But that comes, you wouldn't know that if you don't have a mentor, someone that has done it before you. So Yeah, it's super important. I think in anything, even someone that might be high up, they still have mentors anyway, so it's very key.
I really had to think about that question because in my life, I've definitely had lots of official mentors. You have a meeting every 6 weeks or whatever. I don't have any of that now. And I don't have, I spent a lot of time mentoring people, very specifically, I built a business around it at one point. So for me right now, I think it's less about mentorship and more about support, because I think with the term mentorship, there's an expectation of a power dynamic. It's someone who's older, who's more experienced, etc. But actually, for me, where I get the most support is from my peers, is from Stephanie. It's like, Stephanie, how do I do this? Where do I go for that? And then also similarly doing the same for others within my peer group. And then it's family. I think one of the things that sometimes gets overlooked when you are starting a business is now I'm going to start discriminating. I think one of the, it's powerful, this one. I think one of the things that sometimes maybe gets undervalued and overlooked is family. And sometimes when you're running a business, I don't need someone to tell me how to fix the problems. That's actually my job. And part of the journey is just doing that and, backing yourself and having the confidence to get it done. The thing I need is a hug, or, do you know what I mean? My mum to make me a benkwine or something like that. Those are the things that I actually need from the people around me that I maybe don't have the time to do for myself. So yeah, that's where I am in my career. And I think, again, the people that I so-called mentor are not necessarily younger than me or less experienced. We just have different skills and different talents, and we share them.
Do you have any other question? Okay. All right.
Hi, my name's Crystal, founder of Clear Connects, which is a social influence and marketing agency. Thank you very much for speaking. This question mostly goes to the lovely ladies on the panel, as you own your own brand. How important has social media been in launching your brand? And secondly, how important has collaborating with potentially content creators or local talent been in promoting your businesses?
So social media for Colourbox has been very important. And I think I underestimated when we started just how important it was going to be. And we rebranded and relaunched in 2020. And that was, of course, COVID. But the beauty of COVID, if there was any beauty, was the fact that everybody was at home. And so you had everybody's eyes. And I could really tell a story behind the rebrand. And it was actually our most successful week of sales when we rebranded that launch till date. So that's when I really understood, okay, I really do need to take this extremely seriously. And then we played around with some other things, like I took a staff member to Dubai, and we journeyed the whole, experience for her. And it was her first time out of Ghana. And so you touched people on a deeper level, and I realized that social media really has that ability to really touch people to the core. So social media for Colourbox, and I think the majority of our sales is actually done on social media. I would say 90% of our business is orders, deliveries. And so the logistics around that is us. Now, in terms of collaborating with local content creators, that is something that we are trying to do more and more. There is a lack of structure really around it, particularly in the beauty space, whereas unlike our brothers next door, who have a very clear structure, this is literally how they make their bread and butter, and they are very clear about their deliverables and how serious they take it. We are now developing that. So it is more of a a guidance thing where we're working with content creators, and in our recent new launch, we just launched a beautiful lip gloss. Try it, everybody, it's amazing. It is something that we are trying to do more and more, and we're learning, right? We're learning about how to engage them. We're learning about how we are going to track and monitor, and there are really no real systems here for that. So it's kind of building one about your brand, but it's growing. Okay.
Thank you for the question. I'm going to say something that might be a little bit controversial in this room. I don't like social media. I'm probably a little bit scared of it. However, it has been really important for my brand. And I haven't been able to escape it. And to the second part of your question in terms of collaboration, because I don't like it and because I'm scared of it, the best content that exists for me and my brand on the internet, I didn't create. So the first was an interview with Denta. It's had over 1 million views. She put together the edit, sent it to me. I was like, it's an hour long, no one's gonna watch this. Like, are you sure you don't want to edit down? She's like, trust me, it's fine. We're gonna put it out. And that's how I met him. Like, he watched it and then he messaged me on Instagram and I was just like, what is going on? So it's been really important. I think the way that I've gotten around it is that it's because I'm not creating content. I'm just telling the story. I'm just on a journey and I'm sharing parts of it. And I am collaborating with people that are much better at it than I am. Yeah, but it's really important. And honestly, I think in this day and age, you can't run a business without. So you're gonna have to figure out like, what is your way of doing it? I'm still figuring out mine, to be honest. But yeah.
Be addressed because they can create their content, but if they can't even get access to the money they rightfully are owed, then there's a big disservice being done to creators.
Certainly. All right. So, any more questions for Ama, our special guest? Any more questions? What's going to be next for you, Ama?
So I have, so we just did a film last year, which is called Phoenix Fury. It will be coming out this 2025, we're a few days away. It'll be coming out this year, and it's a film, half of it was shot and filmed in Nigeria, half of it was shot and filmed in Ghana. And we won 2 awards at the Africa International Film Festival last month. And the director is Nigerian lady who lives in Ghana. So proud of this film. So hopefully that will get on a distribution platform somewhere. I don't want to say which one yet. They're still negotiating. There's also another film that we did, which was a Hollywood production, A24. That was a good chunk of about 30% was shot and filmed in Ghana. And that one, the title for now is Black News. They may change it, but when it comes out, that's also coming out 2025. And also I have 2 film projects we're trying to raise funding for. Okay. Because in film, we're always trying to raise funding. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. A round of applause for Ama. If you have any parting words for us before you leave here, we'll take it.
I just want to say just a big congratulations to Chanel, yourself.
Oh yes, Chanel.
Together.
Oh yeah.
And I think because it's such a new space, this content creating space, who knows where it's gonna go. And I feel like right now it doesn't matter what you do. You have to have some kind of social media presence. And there's such a power in that. But I do feel like as Africans in general, there's a way we need to make sure that we're not getting the least bit of the pie, as is currently the case. For those who are diaspora that have other access into other markets, US, Europe, you can get your money. But if you're Ghanaian locally, I know not everybody's able to access their money the way other people do. So it's something that is a bigger conversation.
Sure.
Yes, but congratulations, and I think
All
this
right.
is really notable.
Thank you. A round of applause for Amma. Thank you so much, Amma, for sharing your insights with us. We're going to have a final.
Social media, how to build a brand online, but some of you don't really get it. You think building a community means posting every single day on social media. I guarantee you're gonna burn yourself out. Because you're posting without a direction, without intent. What people are gonna value right now, for those of you who are creators or entrepreneurs, can I consistently tune into your channel? If I go on your Facebook, are you coming live every week? Are you posting every 2 days? Are you doing a program event every month? What is your calendar cycle for 2025 and beyond? And can I depend that if I want to follow you and engage with you and work with you, will you consistently show up? And some of you are very inconsistent, right? I see some head nods. And we say that because it's overwhelming, it's a lot. But you choose the frequency, if it's every month, if it's every week, if it's every day. No one said you have to do it every hour. We're just saying that you have to have a pattern. Are we following? So people need to know, if I'm tuning in on Christine's LinkedIn, I know that every week this is what's going to happen. You are now going to be the TV station. Because like I said, brands and trust is being moved from institutions to individuals. Can I trust that you said what you said and you're going to follow through on that on a consistent basis? Right? And last but not least, probably the biggest trend that I'm seeing is that value statements are now sexier than titles. I introduce myself by my value statement, not by my title. Because now we're all overwhelmed, we're all overstimulated, and we're all tired. I cannot go through research and figure you out, right? Some of you, you go to the networking event, someone say, what do you do? How do you respond? How do you respond? You ramble and give me your resume like I give a damn. I'm being candid with you guys because I need you guys to understand that if you want to win in this economy is ruthless right now. And you're seeing so many people are winning, not because they're the best, but because they're very intentional with their strategy about how they're showing up. And I want some millionaires, some billionaires in this room to show up with purpose in 2025. Can we agree to that? Right? So, next slide, please. So like I said, the economy is brutal. And for those of you who think the economy is going to get better next year, please, I've been in the banking sector. We're in for a multi-year experience. So welcome to the next phase of the economy. Okay? Have fun. All right? It's not going to finish in 2025. It's not going to finish in 2026. You think we just had an election season in America and the UK? We had 64 global elections this year. This is the most elections that's ever happened in human history in 1 year. And some of you, oh, NBC is going to do this, NBC is going to do this, oh, Trump is not as powerful. Listen, you want to build a brand where it doesn't matter who's in power, you're still going to win. Okay? So it doesn't matter who's in power. What matters is what is your plan to stay focused and stay really, really honed in on your clarity and your vision. So the economy doesn't matter. For me, I'm excited. Right? Because chaos is allowed. The biggest amount of millionaires and billionaires are going to be born in the next 5 years, guys. I just want to know if I'm in the room with some of them.